Hello, my name is Brandon Farmer, and this is my global warming speech. I'm a Middle Georgia State University student. I've attended 2 years. I'm a sophomore, and I'm attempting to get my Bachelor's of Science in Information Technology. Here's a picture of the Earth, like, on fire, like, half of it. That's just obviously a hyperbole. It's not what it's actually going to be like. But the world is definitely getting hotter, and people are definitely not doing anything about it. If you've seen recent newscasts or anything, like, you'll see how politicians will just discredit it and act like global warming isn't a thing, and we have Bill Nye on here just spitting facts on them, telling us that yes, it is indeed a thing. And I'm going to show you that there are facts about this that are definitely true here in a second. Global warming is a serious problem, and we as a planet need to do something about it. I'm going to continue on. There's about 3 segments that show facts, real facts, that global warming is a thing, and it's serious, and it's going to have significant changes within the next 50 years or less. This is about the Arctic meltdown, how the ice caps are melting. Ice is melting. It's going to destroy habitats, wildlife. It's going to be dramatic if we don't do anything to change it within these next months, days, as fast as we can start changing. But like Jennifer Francis says, the writer of Meltdown, in only 40 years, the extent of ice across the Arctic Ocean in summer has shrunk by half. That's an entire 50%. The Arctic is changing exactly the way scientists thought it would, but faster. The recent behavior is off the charts. In just 3 years, more than a dozen climate records that have each stood for many decades have crumbled, including those for disappearing summer sea ice, decreasing winter sea ice, warming air, and thawing grounds. That was also said from Francis. This is talking about beaches and land. Like, landforms can actually be submerged by water because of the ice, like the melting ice caps, just rising sea levels causing them to. Scientists predict that global sea levels could rise from 9.8 to 32.3 inches by 2015. Levy Becker from Sarasota says, by 2050, the average Gulf temperature could be as much as 4 or 5 degrees higher, intensifying hurricanes, which are fueled by warm water. So, just by a small 4 to 5 degrees in increase, we can see how hurricanes could definitely become catastrophic. So as global warming increases, we can see how this would be catastrophic. The city of Sarasota estimates that the level of the Gulf will rise somewhere between 3.6 and 21 inches by 2050 and continue to rise after that. If the Gulf rises that much, then you could see parts of Florida actually becoming submerged, which is obviously a big deal. That's families' lives, land that was there that is not going to be there anymore if we don't do something about it. 3.6 to 21 inches might not seem like a lot, but when you're very close to sea level, at like 0 sea level, that's pretty significant changes, especially within 50 years. But I think the most important thing is that we as a community need to acknowledge that global warming is a thing and it's happening, instead of just neglecting it and letting it postpone and procrastinating it. Like, this isn't a homework assignment. Like, this is global warming. This is real life. This could actually occur, and people will definitely feel the effects of it. It's important that we acknowledge that global warming is real, and we also need to do something about it. And until we acknowledge it, change isn't going to occur. Wen Yin Xiao from Science, Scientists, and Local Weather says, how can the views of the mass public and the views of the scientific community be so out of sync? It is likely that Americans' perception of climate change and its causes, as well as attitudes towards policies designed to alleviate climate change in the long run, are the result of a confluence of factors including political attitudes, trust in scientists and science, specific knowledge about climate change, exposure to information about climate change in the media and from other sources, and individuals' own experience with local weather and climate patterns. So it's just misinformation being delivered by people that don't know the facts, like politicians and stuff. I definitely see a lot of politicians out there just discrediting global warming completely. When, like I said, we have Bill Nye, I mean, he's a credible scientist. We have credible scientists talking about how global warming is, in fact, a real thing. Now, these are just some things that we can do right now, or as soon as you can, to like make a change. Like, one, you can speak up, you can talk about it, tell people about it, get the word out, because this is a very important thing. Two, we need to power our homes with renewable energy, solar panels. I mean, you don't have to do this, but it definitely would help a lot. You could invest in energy efficient appliances. You look for the low energy star labeled on the appliances, that will help a lot. Reduce water waste, shorter showers, turn off the water when you're brushing your teeth. Like, just small stuff like that can make a really dramatic impact if a lot of people do it. Unplug appliances when they're not in use. Unplug like the blender or something in your house, like when you're not using it. There's no point in having it plugged in. It's just using energy. Drive fuel efficient vehicles. Like, obviously we can't all afford a Tesla or the most expensive new car. Have to, go insanely dramatic, but just doing the small stuff like reducing your water waste can make a really big difference in the long term if a lot of people contribute. That's the end of my slideshow, and I hope that you have a new outlook on how global warming can affect us in the next 50 years or even sooner if we don't do something about it, and it's increasing exponentially. So the faster we can do something about it and spread awareness, I think the better. And that's my speech. Thank you.